Welcome back to Football Daily, where we're looking at 10 players your club will be forced to sell. Some of these stars could be on the move this January, so let's get into it. 10. Memphis Depay. Back in the autumn, it was unthinkable that Barcelona would let Memphis Depay go. The Dutchman signed on a free from Lyon last summer, dragged the club through the first months of the season, and at the time of Xavi's appointment in November, had 7 league goal involvements, more than twice as many as anyone else at Barca. But while Depay has bagged a further 3 goals under Xavi, he's played just 48% of available minutes. And with the boss favouring Luke de Jong through the middle and Ferran Torres added to the clubhouse, Depay could be heading out. It's a shame, as the ex-Manchester United star has been far from bad, averaging 4 shots and chances created each game and 2 dribbles, and even his 160k a week wages won't be making a huge difference to Barca, with 6 players out earning him at the Camp Nou and over £1 billion in debt, requiring more significant cost cutting. However, those financials and their difficulty registering players mean the club can't afford to carry any dead weight, and Depay is the rare squad member with market appeal. With Juventus, Inter and Milan hovering, Xavi may have to cut the wide man. 9. Steven Bergwijn. Despite targeting youngsters in the last few windows, Tottenham are as reliant as ever on experience. Of their 11 most used players this season, 6 are over 28 and just 2 under 25. And they could be forced to let another prospect go, with 24-year-old Steven Bergwijn reportedly on his way back to the Netherlands to fund the rebuild Antonio Conte desperately needs. According to The Telegraph, the Lily Whites are focusing on loans and free agents thanks to squeezed finances, meaning they'll need to offload assets and wages, and Bergwijn is one of the few players with market value. Though he started just 24 league games since his £27 million move in January 2019, the Dutchman has delivered 11 goals and assists in that time. And in his homeland, he was uncontainable in attack, averaging 3 shots, 3 dribbles and 2 chances created per game across his last 2 seasons with PSV Eindhoven, and producing 41 goal contributions in his last 49 appearances in the Eredivisie. Combined with his 18 pressures a game in the top third of wingers, that should have made him a favourite of Conte. But instead, Bergwijn seems likely to replace David Neres at Ajax. Although, maybe things have changed after his dramatic late double against Leicester City. 8. Zeki Celik. Lille president Olivier Leton may have declared that Newcastle target Sven Botman isn't going anywhere, but that doesn't mean Le Dogue's winter of discontent is over just yet. As reported by La Voix du Nord, Lille have debt of €106 million, meaning more players could leave the Stade Pierre-Mauroy this January. Jonathan Okone has already joined Fiorentina for £12.6 million, and next up might be their right back Zeki Celik. According to Diario AS, Atletico Madrid want the Turkish international as a replacement for Kieran Trippier for a fee between £10 to £18 million. A modest amount for one of Ligue 1's most reliable performers. The 25-year-old never grabs the headlines, as demonstrated by his 0 goal involvements this term and just 13 in his 102 appearances in France, but what he lacks in offensive output, he more than compensates for at the back. Çelik averages an impressive 4 tackles and interceptions and 2 blocks per 90, and also attempts 15.7 pressures per game. And this season, his 64% tackle success rate against opposition dribblers ranks among the top 6 players in Ligue 1. For a defence-first coach like Diego Simeone, Çelik might be perfect, but really any team looking to tighten up at the back should be taking a closer look. 7. Dean Henderson. Last season, it appeared Dean Henderson had finally ousted David De Gea as Manchester United's number 1. He started 12 league games, including their final victory away to Wolves, and was resourceful with his minutes, maintaining a 76% save rate and keeping 4 clean sheets. Meanwhile, De Gea returned his worst save percentage since his debut campaign with Atletico Madrid, and unlike Henderson, conceded more goals than he was expected to save. But how things can change in 9 months. First, Henderson missed the Euros with a hip injury before COVID ruled him out of United training until the end of August. In his absence, De Gea has seized his shot at redemption, putting on some of his best performances for the Red Devils in years. Henderson has all but disappeared, stuck on 0 league minutes and just 1 appearance in Europe this term. Make no mistake, this will be infuriating the ambitious 24-year-old, who will be demanding first-team football. Ralph Rangnick knows this, recently admitting he would prefer Henderson to stay, but the former Sheffield United loanee won't be passive on the bench much longer. Talk of a move is ramping up once more, and this time United might have little choice but to let him go for good. 6. Jeremie Boga. Due to rules put in place by the Italian Football Federation, known as the FIGC, there are reportedly 6 clubs in Serie A unable to register any additional players in January unless they address their immediate cash flow issues. There are 2 ways out of this predicament: an injection of capital by the owners or by selling assets. This is the route Sassuolo have appeared to take, starting with the departure of Jeremie Boga to Atalanta. According to Football Italia, the Ivorian has completed a medical with Lazio ahead of a club record £22 million transfer, which will be concluded after the AFCON. The deal ends the 25-year-old's productive 3.5 years with the Nerazzurri, which has delivered 18 league goals and 7 assists. Not monstrous numbers, but in 2019-20 he dribbled past more players than anyone in Serie A, completed the 8th most progressive carries and the 2nd most carries into the penalty area. Boga is still producing over 3.4 dribbles per 90, maintaining his potent threat. His transfer away from Sassuolo has been long in the making, and with the likes of Raspadori, Scamacca and Berardi all making headlines at the Città del Tricolore, you wonder who might be next. 5. Luis Alberto. Another Italian team under pressure from FIGC's regulations is Lazio. I Biancocelesti president Claudio Lotito has already admitted they need to sell in order to support Maurizio Sarri in the market, leaving them vulnerable to a deal. And while shifting redundant squad members like Vedat Muriqi or Jordan Lukaku is their priority, the Eagles' excellent Spanish creator Luis Alberto could be the sacrificial lamb. It's easy to see why clubs would want the 29-year-old. Since signing with Lazio from Liverpool over 5 seasons ago, Alberto has registered a massive 76 goal involvements in the Italian top flight, including 42 assists, while between 2019 and 2021 he ranked top in the division for through balls, key passes and progressive passes. Combine that with the 339 carries into the final third he's completed in that time, and Alberto's all-round quality becomes clear. This season, however, relations between the playmaker and Sarri have soured, and Lotito has put a €40 million price tag on his shoulders. A move may not happen until the summer, but Alberto's days at the Stadio Olimpico look numbered. 4. Yves Bissouma. It's surely just a matter of time before Yves Bissouma leaves Brighton. The Malian has blossomed into one of the most desirable defensive midfielders in the game, thanks to his break-up play and ability to shield a back line. For the past 2 seasons, he's posted over a massive 5 tackles and interceptions per 90, a number which is hitting 5.8 this term, while an 89% pass accuracy only adds to his increasingly impressive showreel. Bissouma is a wanted man, and Brighton know it. The Athletic recently reported it would take a bid upwards of £50 million to entertain letting the ex-Lille star go, but that number will fall. The 25-year-old only has 18 months left on his deal with the Seagulls, and there's little evidence to suggest he will extend, especially considering the calibre of sides being linked with his signature, from Manchester United to Liverpool and now Aston Villa. Brighton also have financial concerns to consider, having recently reported record losses of £67.2 million last year, more than triple the previous 12 months. This won't force the South Coasters to accept any cut price deal for Bissouma, but they would be foolish to ignore a big offer for the midfielder when it arrives. 3. Lee Buchanan. This situation is not looking good for Derby County. Stuck in administration and strangled by £51 million worth of compensation claims by Wycombe and Middlesbrough, the Rams have until February the 1st to prove they have funds to complete the season or face expulsion from the Football League. Yet for all their troubles, Wayne Rooney's depleted squad have put up a monumental fight. If it wasn't for their 21 points deduction, they would be 11th in the Championship, not 23rd, while they boast a positive goal difference and the division's 4th tightest defence. There is every chance they could survive if a new owner can be secured. Until then, Derby have no choice but to consider bids for their players. Already they've been rocked by the loss of Phil Jagielka to Stoke City, and next could be Lee Buchanan or Louis Sibley, both 20-year-old prospects out of the club's academy. Buchanan in particular has received offers from Nottingham Forest, having featured 55 times in the Championship so far and even earning 2 caps for England's under-21s. Losing the young defender on a cut price deal will only add more salt into Derby's desperate wounds. 2. Adama Traore. Adama Traore is a player who baffles and amazes in equal measure. Capable of extraordinary power and speed, the Spaniard's end product has often left much to be desired. Since the start of the 2020-21 campaign, he's dribbled past 234 opposition players, attempted 146 crosses and taken 66 shots for Wolves. Yet all he has to show for it are 3 league goals and 2 assists in that time. The result is Wolves appear willing to sell the Barca Academy star despite his unique skill set. And his departure could be key to helping Bruno Lage build on his promising start to life at the Molineux this window. So far, the ex-Benfica boss has added Hayao Kawabe from Grasshoppers and Chiquinho from Estoril in Portugal, a talented young winger many are touting as Traore's successor. Next up could be Lille midfielder Renato Sanchez, with both TalkSport and The Athletic reporting that Lage is a big admirer of his fellow countryman. Sanchez will require funds north of £20 million, which Traore can contribute towards. The Times have confirmed the Spanish international is wanted by Tottenham, with Antonio Conte keen for a deal to be concluded as early as possible. So this could be good news for both parties, as Traore might just be the perfect wingback to fit the Italian system. 1. Youri Tielemans. With a contract expiring in 2023, Youri Tielemans' time with Leicester is nearing its end, and his agent is in no mood to delay, reportedly shopping the Belgian to Arsenal and Liverpool this January. It's an unwelcomed complication for the Foxes, currently mired in 10th place, and despite bringing in Boubakary Soumaré in the summer, they remain highly reliant on Tielemans, with only 4 players earning more minutes at the King Power this season than the 24-year-old. Unfortunately for Leicester, tight finances and his contract situation makes it highly unlikely they'll recover the £40 million they paid for Tielemans, despite the midfielder contributing 7 league goals and assists to date, trailing just Vardy and Maddison. Tielemans currently creates more chances per game than anyone at Leicester, and leads the club by miles in progressive passes, just as well given his truly shocking defensive numbers, ranking in the bottom 9% of midfielders for pressures. However, that won't put off a gunner side looking to replace the embarrassing Granit Xhaka, or Klopp, a master at remoulding midfielders. What's more, his age and enormous experience with 400 career appearances already make the former Monaco man an exciting opportunity. We don't expect an exit this month, but come the summer, Tielemans is on his way. The only question is where. So that was our look at 10 players your club will be forced to sell. Which of these players do you think will get the move they want? Let us know in the comments down below. Make sure you're liked and subscribed to Football Daily with that notification bell switched on, and we'll see you next time.